everyone. Welcome back into Beyond the Music. Today, we're so excited to be checking in with the Orange Rays. Orange is getting ready to take the stage for the first time this season, and they've got a great routine and a great mix to go with it. So today, we're so excited to take you Beyond the Music. We've got Roger joining us from the Stingray All-Stars and Patrick from Cheer Music Pro. Roger, we'll start off with you. This mix just recently came out. What was your reaction getting to hear it for the first time?
It was awesome. I didn't know that it was done, so Patrick texts me, says, "Hey, did you like the music?" I said, "I didn't even know it was done. I thought he was texting me about some counts or something." And so it was about 7:30 in the morning, and then listened to it, and it always sounds not the same on your phone, so I'm trying to listen to everything on my phone, and then I got some headphones and listened to it, and I was like, "Man, grand slam!" It was incredible. I thought it was like everything that we had talked about came out pretty much perfect. And then I sent it to Ava and Brandon and Chloe, and then we sat there and talked about it for about 2 hours, and sent talking about all the different parts that we liked and all the fun things. So, and then Brandon and I got on the phone with Patrick later that day, and we talked about it for another like 30 minutes, I think. So it was awesome. It's one of those that sometimes you hear something and you're not sure, and then it kind of grows on you. And this was not the case. We loved it from the first time that we heard it. So it's been awesome.
And you guys did something so fun. The Orange Instagram account posted a video where you surprised the team with it for the first time as they set for their routine. What was that moment like from your eyes?
Um, well, of course, they all knew, right? Orange is the last team in the gym that gets the music every year. We're always a couple of weeks behind every other team, and behind the last team before us. And so they're pretty much asking, "Hey, do we get our music today? Do we get our music today? Get our music today?" So then on Sunday, that's when we did that. It They were asking, "We get it today, don't we?" And we had to kind of lie to them a little bit. So and then well, we knew that when you said this that we were going to get it, but so Ava, she pretended like she was going to make a TikTok of one of the kids doing something, and then she actually cut the video. Um, so what you see on TikTok and Instagram is a little bit shorter than what actually happened. So she cut it, but about the time that she cut it, that's when like they all like it really hit them, and they were jumping up and down, and they were hugging each other, and they all ran over. Electric is practicing next to us. They all run over, and so then Electric and Orange got to listen to it together. So it was really cool to see their faces and how excited they were.
Yeah, that is awesome. And Patrick, we'll jump over to you. The Orange Rays music, I think it's always so fun because it always has that consistent feel with the voiceovers. It's the Orange brand, if you will, but it always gets people pumped up and ready to go. So, how would you describe how you go about kind of creating that feel and keeping it consistent year over year?
Sure. Yeah. I think the most important thing is we really try to have it be Atlanta influenced. That's been a big part of what I do, or what I've done since I started doing the music, a long time ago. I think that was one of the things that I kind of brought to the mix. It's like, hey, we're in Atlanta. We should own that and make the music sound like Atlanta. So that's really fun for me because there's a lot of, you know, amazing music that's produced in Atlanta, and I love the Atlanta style hip hop and that sort of thing. So it's cool to bring that to the table. We're always just trying to be witty. I think trying to find fun ways to introduce Atlanta and to also, have these funny like puns about crush and things like that. That's really what it's all about. Trying to create those one-liners that are memorable, that stick in people's heads, and hopefully they're, the people are, interacting with the team, when they perform. That's definitely always the goal. But and then it needs to be like aggressive. To me, like Orange is like a tougher brand of all girl. They're super talented, and I think the music needs to match that vibe. They're they're not necessarily like the girliest girls, when it comes to like watching them perform. Like they're tough and they're edgy and they're clean, and I like that's what I picture whenever I'm sort of creating or writing for them. So um, yeah.
Well, speaking of those one-liners, who here is the one that loves Chick-fil-A and can give us the inspo behind that's like Chick-fil-A on Sunday, it doesn't exist?
It's all
that would
Patrick.
that would be me. Yeah, and I was just literally brainstorming and I was writing down like all the things that I'd thought about that were Atlanta, and so like I was writing down businesses and street names and landmarks and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I wrote down Chick-fil-A and I was like, oh, it'd be really, really funny to work that in because everybody would resonate with it and think it's funny. And I was like, well, they're not open on Sunday. That's what everybody knows about Chick-fil-A. So then I kind of backed into the like, well, beating me is like, Chick-fil-A on Sunday. It doesn't exist. So I don't know. That's kind of how it evolved and unfolded. And I actually like wrote it down, and then I called Amori and I said it to him, and he started dying laughing. And so I was like, okay, it's good. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was funny, but I had to test it. So that's kind of how it. But I didn't tell Roger about it. So the first time he heard that was like in the mix. So I
And
like.
how'd that go, Roger? We gotta
No, it
we
was
gotta hear
awesome.
instant reaction.
Yeah, no, it was super cool because like I mean, normally I don't hear anything. This year he sent me a demo of our pyramid songs. That was like kind of the only thing that I knew that was coming. So, um, yeah, I mean, and I thought it was cool. It's catchy. It's funny and witty. I'm here for it. So I love all that stuff.
Awesome. And Patrick, the dance is also become a very memorable moment for Orange over the years. They always got that iconic moment. We had some swag surfing last season. 2024, the turnaround and tell 'em hush. Also, of course, go Orange go. So, how do you like to approach that section of the music and making it stand out?
Well, this year's dance, we actually I went over to a practice when Dalston, their choreographer, was in town to see him, and we all went out to dinner and we were brainstorming ideas. And Brandon Glenn was there, who's been a coach on Orange for a long time, and we were just kind of kicking ideas. And he had like these lyrics that he thought would be cool, and I was like, oh, what if we made it like this? And we were literally like rapping the lyrics of the dance like at the dinner table while we were talking. So that's kind of how it got started. And then we came back. I wrote down those ideas in my phone, and then I came back and we sort of developed it and turned it into the dance. But I think the most important part for us this year, I don't know. I think maybe over the course of the last like two or three mixes, and maybe Roger would agree, we sort of got away from what we had been doing that was successful with some of the orange mixes, and we tried some different things. And this year, I think there was a consensus that we needed to like go back and try to go back to sort of the roots of what orange music was over those years. And so one of the things was, they always do sort of a 90s, 2000s hip hop song, and that sort of makes them stand out because nobody else really in Large Senior does that. So I think that differentiates them. So that was really the focus and what we were trying to accomplish with that.
Lots of great ideas you're talking about here. So, both of you, how does the process kind of first start for when you're thinking about the orange mix for the year? What do those conversations look like for what you guys want to include?
I think in the early years, um, it was like Patrick go, and and Roger just kind of let me do my thing, and then over the years though, but I think over the years like it's become more important to have conversations early. So we set up a Zoom call, early in the year and with Roger and the other coaches, and we just kind of kick ideas around and we talk about, okay, what do we want to accomplish? And again, to say what I already said, the consensus was let's go back to like what made the Orange Music brand what it was. I said we kind of got away from that a little bit over the last couple of years. So that was the main focus. And then from there, we started to kind of dive into different ideas. But for me, because I had sort of made up what that was, like it was like, okay, now I'm going back home, to where I'm really comfortable. So we started talking about, we need Atlanta inspired lyrics, and we need a powerful female stunt song, and we need a pyramid song. And actually Roger had a song that, actually Roger is a music buff, he knows music, and he had a song that he really really loved. And he sent it to us, and he's like, I love the feel of this song. If our pyramid song could sound and feel like this, I would love it. So that was sort of the inspiration for what we created for the pyramid song. So we just kind of start piecing it together. Like I said, we talked about the dance at dinner, and it's never really like a full on like, oh, this is the way it's going to be in one meeting. It's always just kind of the ideas flow when they flow, and it takes, we start talking about it in the spring, and it takes several months for everything to kind of get put together. Roger, what do you think?
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. I think, like exactly like Patrick said, back in the early days, he would just go. I think the first time that he ever did our music, he's like, just send me your 8 count sheets and we'll make something really great. And so it was kind of that way. And then I think, once, and back then I could use like, hey, I want to stunt to XYZ song, whatever it is. Well, we can't do that anymore. And so I think that he needed some ideas at some point, and then I just gave like a bazillion of them, and then I was probably trying to give too much input, and so step back. Hey, here's a couple things I really like. You do what you do, and we'll go from there. So he's definitely better at this than I am. So I have a song or two that I like, or a feel of, but this is what he does. He's the expert here, so I completely trust what he's got going on.
I think it's a good point though to mention, pre before everything went original, to original music. It was easy for coaches to go, oh, here's my stunt song, I really like this. Now we're creating, so I think there's more places it can go. I mean, it's really, there's a million different directions and a million different styles, and ways that this can go. So I think it's really important for us on the creative side to at least like have conversations, so we kind of make sure we're going in the right direction. And that drives our creativity, because sometimes it's hard to create when you're not sure if you're going in the right direction. So I think just having those kind of open-ended conversations where we're like, oh, this kind of dance and that kind of pyramid and this kind of stunt, and we want it to feel like this. It gives us the confidence to go, okay, now we know where we're going, and allows us to be creative within that box, so to speak.
And you mentioned that pyramid song. Roger, what was the inspo behind the pyramid this year?
There's a Hardwell song called "Shine a Light," and I really liked it, and I felt like it was had a good feel to it, and yeah, I felt like it would be something that the kids would like, that the crowd would like, that had, was really powerful, and I mean, I think he hit it out of the park on that.
How much fun do both of you have thinking about all the fun, witty ways you can incorporate Orange Crush into these voiceovers?
I mean, I live for it. It's why I do what I do, because I love to like come up with all these one-liners, and think about clever, creative and funny ways to like hit the brand and that sort of thing. So it gets harder and harder as we go, because all the obvious easy ones have already been done. So now we're like really stretching all the way out to Chick-fil-A on Sundays, and and things like that. But when you land on it and you come up with it, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. So there's still a bunch of ideas out there. Just we have to work a little harder and search a little harder to find them.
Yeah, I was going to say that's all Patrick. That's not my that's not my area of expertise. I'll tell you that.
I love it. All right, and each of you, what would you say is your favorite part of the music this season?
Roger.
I don't know. I think there's so many great parts for different reasons, and it's like picking your favorite kid or your favorite pet. Um, I don't know. Like I love our both of our stunt songs, and I think both of them are very different. Um, I'm a huge like Patrick. I love the Atlanta hip hop music. So anytime that we can incorporate a ludicrous sound in our music, I am 100% on board. So one of our songs is ludicrous going into that Chick-fil-A part, and then another one is the is a girl singer, and I love them both. Obviously, I love the Pyramid because it was a song that I kind of like had been listening to for quite a while. And I think everything turned out as good as it could. Like, you know what I mean? I think our dance is going to be great. I think everything is really awesome. So just to be able to pick one little piece, I don't know that I could say something because I find myself listening and smiling every time that I hear it, and then when I watch the kids do the routine with it, I think it goes really well. So I don't know that I could pick a single part.
So one of the things that I will say when I first started doing the music, like I was talking to Roger. I'm like, what do you like? Who's your favorite artist? Blah blah blah, and he and I have the same favorite rapper. I love Ludacris, my favorite rapper, and that's also Roger's favorite rapper. So it's obviously not the real Ludacris because that would be near impossible to accomplish. But
Give a call.
And
I have
expensive.
I have it inexpensive, but I have a vocal artist that can kind of sort of sound like him. So we sort of write in his flow and his style, and just kind of have fun with it. And so I think I think that's probably my favorite part. I love the part that says, circling the world 10 times just to show off my rings. Because, that's the kind of things that we always would say. We always talk about the history and the world championships and the legacy and the numbers and that sort of thing. And obviously the Chick-fil-A line is my favet.
That
Hey,
stood out to me so good when I listened for the first time. It was awesome.
oh yeah, that's I'm really excited to hear that, and when all the crowd and everybody is like really knows the routine and knows the music. I'm excited to hear that part.
Roger, for you, how is the team looking and what are you most excited for Orange to show everyone this season?
I think we're great. I think the we have a really really great group of kids. I think they are super hard workers, and they love each other, and I think that's going to be a big point to our success this season as we get later on down the road. We're a little bit banged up right now. Right now is really hard for us because of high school cheer, and all these kids are on their competitive high school teams, and we just got done with state a couple of weeks ago, so their bodies are a little beat up. But so I think that so I think we're great. I think it's going to take a second, like it normally does for us. We're normally not peaking in December by any stretch of the imagination. We have our fever this weekend. I'm just excited to show. Like I think our kids are really talented, and I think that we. I think we're really great stunners. I think we have a lot of really great tumbling, and I think we have a different looking pyramid than what we have and what has been done in all girl cheerleading, really. So I think there's some good stuff. I really love the look of our routine. It's Patrick alluded to it earlier. We have a different choreographer this year, and so we have a different feel of the way that things go. So yeah, I'm really excited. I love this routine. I love the kids. I think they've got a really great mindset with what they want to do and how good they want to be. And I think having the great kids and Patrick and doing an awesome job with the music, and I feel like everything's lining up for us to be really successful. So I'm excited. I just think the whole thing I think is going to be great. I'm excited for when it's polished. We're still tinkering on some things here and there, like always. And I think the team is great. I think I'm really excited. We have like I said, we have our fever this weekend, our showcase, and then next weekend is our first competition. So hopefully we'll be ready to rock and roll. We got a good week of practice coming up, so ready to go.
Awesome. It's time.
Yeah, it's
And
ready. It's comp season,
heck yeah.
and
And
Georgia's playing in the SEC championship game. I mean, it's a good Saturday's going to be a good day.
we love it. And what has it been like now getting to watch this routine with that final finishing touch? Now you got this music.
It's awesome. I think you can never really. It's Stingrays is a little bit more difficult, because we have so much going on, and our speakers in the gym. If we had speakers that did music justice, then nobody could practice, right? Because it would be so loud. It's really loud in there to begin with, but it would be so loud. So this Saturday will be really the first time that I get to see it with speakers that can handle all of the little things that you can't really hear inside the gym when five other teams are practicing. They'll be in their uniforms. We'll be on a stage. There won't be like people tumbling in the background or a random stunt going up that is not on the same count that we're on. And so I'm excited. I mean, Saturday will be a really good opportunity for us to kind of really step back and see what it truly looks like from a fan slash judge's perspective. And I'll watch everything from this close. And so when you get to step back and see it from a ways and like hear everything, I think it'll be I'm really excited for that, to be able to get back and watch the video and like really break down everything that we've got going on and see just see where everything fits and how good it looks.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a great year. The Orange Rays are getting ready to go here. Fans, be sure to follow along all season long. You can watch their routine with sound on both Varsity TV and FloCheer. But Roger, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us today and taking us beyond the music.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This was fun.